Okay, that's it now.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for attending today's network meeting to cover the Fermanagh and Omagh, Derry City, Strabane, and Causeway Coast and Glens council areas for Lincoln Generations NI. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Elaine Brownlee. I'm a project officer for Lincoln Generations NI, and I'm joined together today with my colleague Joyce, who's going to help deliver the meeting, who's based up in Bangor, while myself is down here in sunny Fermanagh. Joyce, I get you to share your screen for the presentation that we've got today. Just in the meantime, folks, rather than doing around the room, if you just want to pop into the chat your name and where you're joining us from, or the organisation that you work with, and what if you've got any sort of specific interests in IG work or any plans to get something up and running, please feel free to do that. Joyce is going to share her presentation. I think that's where at the beginning.
Yeah. There we go. You can see that?
Yeah, lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, so with further ado, I'm going to hand over to Joyce, going to take us through the first few slides of the PowerPoint. And as I said, there will be an opportunity at the end to ask questions and have a bit of a chat about who's doing what on the ground. So thank you, Joyce.
Hey everyone, it's lovely to see you all here today. I don't know what it's like down in Fermanagh, but it's not very sunny up here in Bangor, unfortunately. But anyway, this is our agenda for today. So we're going to do a welcome. I'm going to ask you just to put into the chat who you are and where you're from. Then we'll have some local intergenerational stories. We'll ask for feedback from the age-friendly coordinators, some Christmas Connection grants feedback. Those are our grants that we give out at the beginning of December each year, and our LGNI training update. Then some information on our All Ages April small grants, which are open at the minute. So if any of you are interested in making an application or sharing it with any of your networks in terms of that, the grants are seed fund granting grants for £125 each. It closes on the last day of February, so Friday the 28th of February. So plenty of time still to get one in. They're not too onerous an application form. Then a wee bit about Global Intergenerational Week, which is in April. And we tie the All Ages April grants in with Global Intergenerational Week, something for us to be looking at then. And then Elaine's going to update you on the Creating Intergenerational Communities project. So that's it in a nutshell. We may have to, I suppose, divert a bit from it, but we'll see how it goes. So as I've said then, if you could put into the chat your name, your role and the organisation you're from, and if it's relevant, why you're interested in attending the meeting today. So that would be good for us to tell and to know, and we'll share that and we'll record that as well. So who are we then, Linking Generations? Most of you already know us, but we were set up in 2009, and our vision, as you can see there, is that Northern Ireland will be a place where all generations are respected, understood, connected and engaged together in their communities. And the engaged together is really, really important, because it isn't about one generation doing something for another generation. It's about people doing things together where there's mutual support and interest and an equal input from both sides. So we're all about adding value in an intergenerational approach, and that means that it's something that should be inherent in what you're doing in your day job, not something that particularly is new or additional, but it comes from within. So that's really, really important as well. So then what do? We connect, we inspire and we support. So our network now that you're all members of has over 1,000 members across Northern Ireland. We've already talked about the intergenerational training that we offer, and we can provide bespoke training for particular sectors. So we do training for teachers. We have training for health and social care students. We do training for care home workers, care home coordinators and staff and management. And all of that really can be tailored. We also have done voluntary sector training before now as well. So we will tweak the training to make it fit for whatever audience it is that we're working with. So then we also have activity ideas and resources. If you look at our website, there's a very good resources page within that, and has lots of very useful things as well, and included in that. We provide an advice and support service, so any inquiries that you may have, So quite often we'll get someone contacting us because they want to do something intergenerational. So we'll have a look at the network and see, if it's a care home, we can match them up perhaps with a school in the area, that kind of thing. So then we also have partnership activities and projects that we provide, and we'll be talking a wee bit about some of those during the course of today. And then our grants, the All Ages April, we've already mentioned, and the Christmas Connections grants. So we provide a voice for intergenerational work as well. We're part of the age-friendly networks and the loneliness networks. We have INS in education and care homes. And then as well as that, there's Global Intergenerational Week as well. So I'm going to hand you over to Elaine.
Okay, thanks so much, Joyce. So the benefits of what we do, why do we do what we do? And this is a little slide that we share in our every network meet that we do, in our trainings, anywhere we can, to really shout about the benefits of the work that intergenerational practice is. And there are those obvious benefits that we all know and have been proven over and over again in so many different research papers or so many different projects or activities, that it's very clear to see them. The brilliant thing about intergenerational work is that there's lots of hidden benefits as well. And it's not really until you are involved in facilitating an activity between a couple of different generations that you can actually see those hidden benefits. But if you first focus on the obvious ones, the ones that are very clear to see, you'll then be easier see the hidden ones that we're talking about. So intergenerational activity enhances learning and skills sharing across all age groups. I'm yet to come across a partnership where both generations have never said, oh, I didn't learn anything today or I didn't share anything today. It always happens. It's a very natural sort of occurrence. It also reduces loneliness and social isolation amongst all generations. It'd be foolish for us to assume that loneliness and isolation is felt more by older generations. A lot of young people feel those as well, and loneliness is something that is really detrimental to people's health. So IG activities are a really good way of trying to address those issues. It increases understanding and sharing experience between generations. It builds friendships and social connections. As it says there, creates opportunities for all generations to feel valued and part of the community, making those communities more cohesive. It boosts mental well-being and self-confidence, and it also reduces ageism. And that's one of the big things for us about the approach that you take with IG work, IG just being short for intergenerational, that it is a very effective and proven way of addressing those preconceptions and misconceptions that young have about older people and older people have about younger people. So it really is a positive means of tackling ageism, which is a growing issue across society in different sectors. So always keep those in the core of your mind or in the forefront of your mind when you think about delivering activities for it, because there are benefits for all ages to reap, and it's very easy to see them once you get into it and you start delivering those kinds of activities. Just go on to the next one there, Joyce. So we sit as part of what we do, as Joyce said there, on the list of the many things that we do. We are a very small team here in Northern Ireland, just myself, my colleague Joyce, and our director Vicky. But we do an awful lot for the limited funding that we have and the limited capacity that we have. One of the things where we sit is within our age-friendly networks. So across 11 council areas, we sit on all age-friendly alliances within those council areas because it's a real natural fit, intergenerational, to sit with age-friendly. Luckily today, unfortunately, we've only got one of our age-friendly coordinators with us today, Pauline from the Derry City Strabane area, which we're delighted to have her here. Our Causeway Coast and Glens age-friendly officer is actually finished up in post or about to finish up in post, and our Fermanagh and Omagh one was unavailable today. So Pauline's going to give us just a wee brief overview of their work up in Derry City Strabane from an age-friendly perspective, and any wee sort of intergenerational nuggets or projects that are happening up there. Thank you, Pauline.
Hello, everybody. This will probably be very short and brief. Just to introduce myself, I'm Pauline O'Neill. I'm the age-friendly officer for Derry and Strabane. Each council area has an age-friendly officer, and each area kind of has a strategy and action plan that's kind of localized to the local area. There is a visage going forward that we will have like an overarching strategy and then have our action plans then more localized. But we kind of have to wait until everybody's kind of strategies run out. So that could be up to 2027, because some of the council areas only have really launched their action plans, and ourselves, Derry and Strabane, only launched ours last March. So we have a 3-year action plan around age friendly. So basically, I have like maybe 30 kind of outcomes that across the Derry and Strabane area, ranging from health checks, employment, getting fit and active, no tick boxes and all. So that's kind of like an overview of all the kind of outcomes. So currently, what some of the work I'm doing at the minute with our over 50s group is like we're developing co-design walk-in audits. So we're developing up audits that you know, that when they are going out and about into maybe parks and areas or buildings, that they then do this audit, and then we maybe take the recommendations from these audits and give it back to the person that maybe owns the building, or, you know, into maybe council around parks and recreation. So that's currently an ongoing project. We are currently running health events. Our older generation has maybe access issues to GPs around getting health checks. So we have been running a number of health check events. We signpost installs around that. We have next Tuesday, we have a 50+ job fair where people who are maybe trying to dip their toe back into employment for volunteering services is taking place, which is happening up in Holywell Trust. We have then in March over in Foyle Arena, we have like a festival of all. So that is kind of the access inclusion officers kind of leading on that. So it's around, you know, activities around for people with disabilities of all ages. And there is going to be a bit of intergenerational work around that. So that's like a 2-day program on the 19th and 20th of March in Foyle Arena. And then normally around coming up to Global International Week, we would light up the council buildings, and we would put a wee press release in the paper and that just to highlight it to the local area. But there is a lot of intergenerational going on in local schools and playgroups in the Derry and Strabane area. So we kind of just link in with them and do a bit of signposting. So it's all kind of go and trying to get, I have a small pot of money just to kind of get it wrapped up by the end of the financial year. And then, then I have to develop up another small action plan then for the PHA going forward for then 25, 26.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Pauline. And as I said, you know, we do work very closely with age-friendly officers across Northern Ireland. I think because they're all on different strategies and all at different things, there is going to be, we're being told that there is going to be a sort of centralisation, and that all the strategies will be similar, and intergenerational will have a standalone part within those strategies. So it's really good to sort of get the groundwork in place now as we move forward, you know. Okay, so moving on, Joyce, if you want to go on to the next slide there for me, just to give a wee update on our Christmas campaign, 2024. We had a really successful Christmas campaign that garnered support from across Northern Ireland. Part of what makes a huge part of our Christmas campaign is our small grants. So we deliver, as Joyce said earlier on, small grants twice yearly. Our Christmas Connections grants were launched back in the beginning of October, and were small pots of money to give to community groups, settings, care homes, schools, anywhere that wanted to deliver an intergenerational activity throughout the month of December. So we were able to give out 30 of those. And for one of the first times in LGNI's history, I think there was representation from nearly all 11 council areas, which is brilliant. We're currently working on the report as we pull back in all the data from our successful grantees. So that, you know, creates a lot of buzz on social media and promotion in terms of what's happening on the ground. And we always find that these little pots of money act really well as a catalyst for somebody who has an idea, hasn't maybe done an intergenerational activity or event before, but really, really wants to bring generations together within their own communities. And there's an opportunity, there's a little bit of money, we'll use that to have an activity, celebrate Christmas, bring them generations together. And generally what we find, what happens is people catch the bug, you know, they get this little bit of pot of money, they're absolutely delighted with what they've been able to do with it. They've seen all the benefits. They've witnessed those interactions and those little relationships forming just out of those one or two little activities or events that go on. And then they go on quite often to really start to embed it. They see the value of it. And, we're still being tagged in different posts on social media from organisations that got a small grant 5 years ago, never applied for funding since, but they're still doing their intergenerational activity. So it's brilliant to see the legacy that leaves. And it's a really good way of getting people on board and starting their journey, delivering their intergenerational activities and events. So just a few statistics to throw at you. We were really, really busy, as we always are, on social media, but we reached approximately 6.2 thousand individual Facebook and Instagram social media accounts. There was 14.2 thousand post views with 861 visits to our Facebook page, and over 210 interactions. So, we always use a hashtag such as Intergenerational Christmas, and we can truncate all of the activity that was going on. So, it was lovely to see Christmas past as well, that it wasn't just our 30 groups and settings that had been successful in getting their small grant to deliver their activity. We had huge amounts of people tagging us that were just doing it themselves. They took it upon themselves to, have an intergenerational activity to celebrate Christmas together. So it was really, really good to see that. Joyce, if you just want to click on to the next slide there, I think it might be is the thank you video. Maybe? Yeah. So Vicky, our director, loves really, really good at marketing. Sorry, I'll get you to pause that a wee second. So she puts these little videos together, and this is just, as I said, it's a little video made up of, a lot of our grantees who had their activities and were successful in getting the funding, but also there was pictures coming in from all different organisations across the province that would tag us in them, and saying, look, we're doing intergenerational activities to celebrate Christmas, because they really love us sharing what they're doing, and we really love sharing what people are doing because it inspires so many other people to follow suit. So Joyce, I'll let you play that wee video. Thank you, Joyce.
Yeah, stop sharing.
Really, yeah, I think maybe for a second. That really encapsulates everything that happened, as part of our Christmas campaign. It was really, really successful and brilliant, as with every year, to see the huge increase that there is in involvement with people on the ground who are actually, delivering or facilitating or planning intergenerational activities and events within their own communities. So just to check back. So part of what we do for our meetings as well is to allow others showcase what they're doing. Now, for this afternoon's meeting, I had a lady from the Sandal Group of Care Homes, Jane Gervin, lined up to deliver a little bit of a talk on what they were doing across their sites. Now, unfortunately, Jane got her dates mixed up and wasn't able to attend this afternoon, but she did attend this morning's meeting, which takes in the Mid-Ulster, the Armagh, Banbridge, Craigavon, and the Newry, Morning Down areas. Now, as it happens, the Sandal Group of Care Homes stretch across 3 of those council areas. So they've got a care home in the ABC Council area. They've got one in the Mid Ulster area, and they've also got one in the Fermanagh and Omagh area here in Enniskillen County Care Home. So we had actually, because we've been recording these meetings, I've been able to pull out her extract of what she delivered this morning, because I think it's really, really relevant. And it just shows the journey that people have. So a couple of years ago, the County Care Home in Enniskillen were involved with a project that we facilitated through funding from the Arts Council Northern Ireland, where the care home were bringing children from a local school into the care home on a regular basis to deliver an art project. They were creating a crafts together. And then that stemmed to other things and led to other things. They also had a couple of grants over the last number of years, small grants that again give them that opportunity to deliver a little intergenerational activity within a couple of their care home settings. But as with so many other people, they caught the bug. They seen the benefits. They could see just how positive an impact it was having on their residents in all three of their settings, but as well the children that were coming in, they could see the change in them and the positive impact that it was having. So Jane kindly came on and contributed to this morning's meeting, but I'm going to share that with you now, because as I said, it's a lovely journey that they've had, and for us it's amazing. Imagine if every care home in Northern Ireland was doing what the Sandal group of care homes were doing, and how brilliant our reach would be, and that whole concept of embedding intergenerational practice into your everyday work. So Joyce, if you can stop sharing your screen, I have this video prepped, and I'm really hoping my Wi-Fi doesn't give out, but if you just bear with me, I have it set at exactly the right place. Just click play and hear what Jane has to say. The slide, just give her a wee shout and she'll change the slide for you.
Okay, thank you very much. Hi. So yeah, I'm Jane and I'm a director at Sandal Group, and I also look after the marketing for the company, and I've been overseeing all the intergenerational projects, working with the coordinators that we have in each of the homes. So as I say, we've got the three homes, and now this one is focusing mainly on the county, which I know isn't in this area, but we do have similar activities happening in each of the areas. So in Mid Ulster and in Omagh as well. So yeah, so I suppose we got into it really through a 6-month art project. We got funding for from the Arts Council to do a project with the Model Primary in Enniskillen. And we got a load of support from Intergenerational with that. They really worked with us, and they were offering dementia awareness training to the children at the school as well, to support us with that project. So that was fantastic. It was over, I think, probably about 6 sessions or something that we had between the residents and the children and a local artist, and we came up with a nice kind of mural for the back garden and other things that they've done as well. And it was a massive success. The children loved it, the residents loved it, and we just saw the benefits of intergenerational projects from that. We got press coverage, as you can see here. So we had some of the local papers coming along to the event. And yeah, I think that was the spark that we realized this is what we want to do within our homes, and we want to continue doing this. So if we can go to the next slide, and hopefully a lot of what I'm talking about is stuff that has been raised in this meeting, so it's things that we can touch base about after. So yeah, so from that, I said that was the spark, and from that we wanted to build on that success. So we had a partnership with the Model Primary, and then we found another school that we could link with, which was the Jones Memorial School in Enniskillen. Now we made sure that we had dedicated points of contact in each of those schools. So a bit like you've got Valerie, we had a contact in each of those schools. That I think that's really important to establish those relationships with someone who is on the same wavelength, so that you can coordinate those events together. So yeah, so we just decided, right, okay, this is going to be something that we're going to do as a year-round project. It's not just going to be a one-off thing. We want to continually do these throughout the year, these activities. So we've done loads of things at the county care home. We've had story swaps. So this was where children did the first part of a book. So they wrote the beginning of a story, and then the story was brought into the care home and the residents finished the story off. So they worked together to finish that story off. That was brilliant. So we ended up with stories that they'd both written, and we got, again, press coverage for that as well. So the media covered that story as well. We made a little book out of it, which is still in the care home now. So, you know, we often read the stories to the residents and things, and just have, when the children come in, they sometimes read them as well. We've done quite a lot of storytelling sessions. So we've linked with the storyteller over in Fermanagh, and she comes in and does storytelling sessions with the children and with the residents. We've had pizza making, which the children especially loved. And then, yeah, we just had a lot of activities. We've had kind of animals coming in, and the children, you know, kind of the residents with the animals. So it's been brilliant. And then also cards and messages as well we've had sent in. So, yeah, obviously Christmas is a big time for the intergenerational project. So, you know, it's always a busy time, and thankfully this year we got some funding as well, which really helped us. So thank you for that. So with that, we had the model primary coming in over, I think it was a few different years that we had. So I think we had 3 year groups all together coming in, which we organised with the teacher. So we did wreath making, which everyone loved. We did carol singing, cookie decorating. And then I think there was even a day when we weren't expecting the children to come in, but they came in, and thankfully we had a group called Rising who were doing like a snowball fight with the residents, an indoor snowball fight. So the children joined in with that. And yeah, so that was lovely. You can see the photos here. It was really busy. It's like it's quite a big space, but it's brilliant when they come in, because it's so, like, there's so much going on. The children are talking. They were talking about, you know, Christmas from the past, and like what the residents would have done for Christmas and how it compares to today. So that was lovely, because it was all about the reminiscing as well, and just the children getting to, you know, kind of find out about like the experiences from the past. And yeah, so we love that. We always love Christmas, intergenerational Christmases. So yeah, so said it's an all-round, you know, it's an all year round thing that we do, the intergenerational, and I'd say it's really inspiring. And
Want to have a wee technical hitch? It's quite possible that could be or not with that. No, let me just bear with me a second. Maybe my internet either. I'll just pause it and play it again.
generational sessions so much that we've created these little mascots over at the county. So basically we have mascots that are made. The deputy manager at the home has created these. So we've got the 2 mascots which are made from the uniforms of the children's school, and the schools have one that are made from our uniform, so with our logo on for sample group. And we bring these together at every session that we have. So every intergenerational session, the teddies will get together, or the mascots will get together. And then we also have them sitting around the home, which is a really nice reminder of, you know, like the intergenerational friendships that we've made with the children. So we just think this is a really nice touch in the school.
Sorry, folks. It's to be, if I pause it and play it again, you should be able to. Mm. Bring it on a wee tiny bit maybe. I think that's maybe that's uh,
Um, so yeah, so we're really proud of what we've achieved, and with the support that we've had from Lincoln Generations as well has really helped us move this on. But we're always looking to enhance what we do. So I think for the future, what we'd like to do is formalise it a little more across all of our homes. It's possibly a bit too ad hoc, but we'd like to formalise it, get set dates in at the start of the year, and have like an intergenerational programme for each of our homes. And all of the homes doing like, kind of similar level of things as well, of activities. We'd love to do some new activities as well, and just broaden the stuff that we're doing. So whether it's, have a meeting with the children and a meeting with the residents to discuss, what they'd like to do, maybe link it to the curriculum as well a little bit, which could, formalise it, and schools then might, kind of other schools joining in as well, and if they see the benefits of it. We'd also like to, I think this has been mentioned as well, we'd like to get some of the residents out to the schools. So if there's school plays, or if there's something that the school is doing, taking the residents out to a different environment as well, which I think will be really beneficial to them. And also the schools that we're linked with at the moment, we've mainly linked with primary schools, but we'd like to find a high school as well, or older children as well, just to see that relationship and to expand the ages that we are linking with. And then, yeah, finally, we'd really like to share our story this year, I think, because we have done quite a lot and we're proud of what we've done. And we'd like to share our story in the media more, and also on platforms like this as well, and probably link more with organisations as well, such as you said, like kind of do more work with yourselves, and hopefully inspire other organisations do the same, other care homes, other schools, do that. So yeah, so that's our.
Brilliant. So I think you got, sorry about the technical difficulty there, but I think you got a good idea of what Jane was trying to get across in this morning's meeting. And it's really, really inspiring to see that settings like that, it's a group of care homes. They have 3 separate settings across Northern Ireland. But once they get it and they see it, and they can see the benefits coming out of these amazing activities, how dedicated they can then become. And that's exactly what we want to do as an organisation, is to help inspire everybody, be it individuals on the ground, community leads, schools, care homes, whoever's willing to hear us bang that drum. If we can inspire and light that spark for you and act as that catalyst and support you in whatever way we can, be it through training or just being a soundboard about the ideas that you've got, then we're delighted to be able to do that. So, Joyce, if I get you to share the screen again. Anybody got any questions about that particular one? Unfortunately, because Jane's not here, and she was able to see questions this morning, because there was other people online that were really intrigued by what they were doing and how far they'd brought it, But if you ever want to reach out to those people, just get in touch with us and we can connect you. That's part of why we value our network so much as well. It's the heart of everything we do. We connect people. And it's amazing just how many times we have been able to connect one setting with a different generational setting. Okay, Joyce, what's next on
Okay.
our yeah, so the one after that.
All right, hold on, let me check. Decided to.
I know.
There we go.
Obviously, it works, but
Okay.
okay,
So
lovely. So yeah, I was going to give you a wee update in the training here. And then I'll hand back over to Joyce. So we deliver intergenerational training Not as much of it as we like because we don't have capacity or funding. And I think especially in the last couple of years, our training has become bespoke to individual projects where we do have funding connected to those projects. And that training, you know, as we always plan it to be and hope it to be, empowers others with the knowledge, the confidence, the resources, and the support to embed intergenerational practice into their setting. So here's just a couple of examples of what's happened recently. So I'm going to give you a little overview about the CIC project we're working on. It's one of our bigger projects, creating intergenerational communities, in a little minute. But one of that bottom picture there was a dementia awareness setting where Director Vicky went into the school to give them a little bit more support. So this school is one of our pilot settings on the CIC project, and they've been trialing this toolkit that we've developed with our partners in Scotland and England on quality indicators, essentially a guide to and a more in-depth look at what your intergenerational work should look like in terms of quality. And then, you know, the top picture, for example, was an old project. It was Laurel Hill Community College. Their health and social care students had a few years back were involved with a separate project that we had, LGNI's Halifax Foundation for Northern Ireland. Funded the Creating Intergenerational Connections project a few years ago, and that school then, you know, they were part of that particular project, but they seen the value in it for their students to take that intergenerational approach and get involved with working with a different generation. So they asked Vicky to come back, you know, and if we can, we will, is our motto. But it's just not always possible to do because we don't, as I say, have specific funding or even capacity to always deliver the training. But as I said, we do incorporate it into separate projects. So, you know, depending on where we are, because we are, you know, we have a little bit of, you know, funding and uncertainty at the minute. The dream would be that we could offer training out to any organisation that wants it, you know, to be able to give them that confidence and that empowerment of going forward and delivering intergenerational activities where they want to, you know. But who knows down the line where we could end up with that, because I think it's a very key and integral part of the success and sustainability of intergenerational practice within communities or settings, because it does give them that confidence. Those, you know, our feedback from the training has always indicated that people do feel a lot more confident after they went through the training. It's not just inspired them, but it's given them a more in-depth thought and sort of process to how you actually deliver an IG activity. And what are the things that you should think about? Because so many people think about the word intergenerational, just think throwing young and old together in a room and let's see what happens, when in fact there's so much more to it than that. And that's one of the key things that we try to sort of achieve with our training. The training that we do deliver is CPD accredited as well. It's generally 4.7 hours of verifiable CPD for practitioners who do it. And from time to time we will, you know, we do little training where organisations will approach us to do it, you know, for a nominal fee or a set fee. We can come into your organisation and deliver a certain to a number of people, you know. Just I'll talk to you a little bit more about the CIC when we come to that one as well, because there's a little bit more about the actual toolkit. Joyce, if you want to pop on to the next slide there.
Yeah,
I'll let you take over from here.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier about Global Intergenerational Week, and that occurs every year from the 24th to the 30th of April. We have already asked most of the age-friendly officers for a steer in terms of asking councils to light up their buildings in pink, typically for one day. So we've had quite good success with that so far. Some of them aren't paying for it, but most of them are, I'm delighted to say. So we're delighted to be leading again on this campaign for Northern Ireland. We look forward to working alongside communities, organisations, settings and local government across Northern Ireland and the globe to make this even bigger and better than ever. So, you know, that we do hope that you'll join us to support Global Intergenerational Week this year. And hold on a second, sorry. I'm having some technical difficulties.
Well, it's sometimes hard to see where the cursor is.
It's just not playing. There we go. So how can you get involved then with Global Intergenerational Week? And as you see, there's the hashtags that Dillian mentioned earlier again. So you can sign up and support it. And when you do that on the Generations Working Together website, which is our Scottish sister organisation, you'll have the opportunity to upload your logo on the page there. So it's actually really impressive, the number of different organisations across the UK that have got behind Global IG Week already. So, I would just urge you to go on and do that. It's completely free. It doesn't commit you to anything, but it's a really, really nice thing to be involved in. You can then download the supporters pack and all of the graphics for the campaign that you can use on your social media, etc. And as you can see there, this particular one this year, we're using very much intergenerational practice. Isn't just nice, it's essential. And that really, really is the case. And I hope through the meeting today, you'll really come to agree with that and understand that. So you can organise your own intergenerational event. You can share your work on social media if you use the tag there, at Global IG Week 25 tag. And if you tag LGNI on that, we will share that too for you. You can attend the global events as well. And you can also watch out for our resources, of course, and the opportunities that we have as well. And I'm just going to play this video for you.
Welcome to Global Intergenerational Week, an annual campaign that celebrates the value and power of intergenerational relationships.
The campaign takes place April 24th to 30th and features a variety of engaging and inspiring in-person and online events throughout the week. Each day focuses on a key intergenerational theme.
On day 1, let's raise intergenerational awareness. On day 2, let's challenge ageism. On day 3, let's challenge social isolation and loneliness. On day 4, let's celebrate intergenerational spaces and communities.
On day 5, let's save the planet together. On day 6, let's develop intergenerational workplaces. And on day 7, let's improve intergenerational quality and sustainability.
La práctica intergeneracional brinda una gran cantidad de beneficios. Reduce el aislamiento social y la soledad en todas las generaciones, estableciendo relaciones vitales para grupos vulnerables en todo el mundo.
Los enfoques intergeneracionales pueden mejorar el rendimiento y los logros educativos en los jóvenes a través de programas de mentoría y el intercambio de habilidades. Las relaciones entre generaciones, jóvenes y mayores, también fortalecen la confianza, mejoran las habilidades de comunicación y fomentan un renovado sentido de responsabilidad social.
Intergenerational practice also breaks down age barriers, challenges age-related stereotypes, and improves our understanding of the challenges different generations encounter.
And this all leads to the creation of sustainable, cohesive, and age-connected communities where ageism doesn't exist and different generations can flourish together.
ולכן השנה אנחנו רוצים לשנות את התפיסה. נהפוך את הקשר הבין-דורי מפעילות שנחמדת איתכם לפעילות נחוצה והכרחית.
Our goal is to raise awareness for intergenerational practice across the globe so that more and more people can witness for themselves all those magical moments that intergenerational relationships create.
There are loads of ways for you to get involved in the campaign. You can partake in our postcard activity, share a snapshot of your intergenerational moment, whether it's meaningful conversation, a shared activity, or a special connection. Reflect on your feelings and include photos to highlight your experience.
You can host an intergenerational event, which can be anything from an intergenerational cooking class, to a sports day, to a simple tea and cake morning.
También puedes unirte a nosotros online utilizando nuestro hashtag de campaña GIW25 y utilizar nuestras plantillas prediseñadas para redes sociales disponible dentro de los recursos del pack de patrocinadores.
Together, we can build stronger relationships between generations and work towards building and sustaining a more inclusive and intergenerational future for people of all ages.
Joyce?
Need to stop sharing, I think, and start again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the next slide's mine anyway. So that's Global Intergenerational Week, a growing campaign that is, getting bigger and better every year that goes by. 5 years ago, it began with just Lincoln Generations Northern Ireland, Generations working together in Scotland, and organisations in England coming together to form this executive team, and we're now up to something like 16 or 17 countries worldwide who now get involved every year. So from small acorns, it has become something that's quite big and something that our organisations are all very proud of being a part of and leading on. This year is the first year as well that the World Health Organization have actually come on board as a partner, which we know is going to help it bring it even further, and really sort of get that messaging across that intergenerational practice isn't just a nice thing to do. It's actually essential, and it's something that should be embedded within all settings and all sectors across every community and country. So as part of the Global Intergenerational Week campaign, as well as ourselves being involved with all the online sort of webinars that go on, and we have different things happening in Northern Ireland, one of our big things is our small grants yet again. So in the same way that our Christmas Connections grant formed a huge part of our Christmas campaign, our All Ages April small grants form a big part of the Global Intergenerational Week campaign. So this is another opportunity to apply for a wee small pot of money to put towards delivering an event or events or an IG activity within your own setting. Sorry, do you having trouble again with that? Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
it keeps going back to this one here for some reason. I don't know why.
Maybe just X out of it completely for the slide, maybe. Yeah, sometimes when you play a video, it's really hard to get out of it again. But yeah, our All Ages April was launched on the 1st of February, and the closing date isn't until the end of this month, on the 28th of February. So you've still got time if you want to share it with your networks of people. They're welcome to apply. The only stipulation is the activity of the event happens during the month of April, and as part of our celebrations of Global IG Week. These are hugely popular. I mean, last year I think we had something like 120 applications to work our way through, or no, the Christmas figure was that, and something very similar with All Ages April last year. So they're very, very popular, and again, they really do act as a catalyst to encouraging people to start delivering regular intergenerational activity, because once, as I say, they catch that bug and they see the benefits that there are to be had for everybody, they want to continue long after they've delivered the activity associated with the grant. So, as it says there,
No, it won't. I can't get it out of
maybe X out of it and go back into it, Joyce, or whatever, So I'm going to open it as well, see maybe can I share it. Sorry, folks, we seem to be having a few technical difficulties on today's. How's that now, Joyce? I'm going to open it as well, just to have, just in case. So yes, if the information's on our website about our small grants for April, do feel free, as I said, to share it with everybody. They've still got 10 days to get their applications in, and it could be the start of something amazing once they get involved. And we do encourage people, as Joyce said, about Global Intergenerational Week, to use the hashtag GIW, hashtag GIW25, and all the activities from around the world then get truncated in that one, and we can keep an eye on what's happening across the world. So it's really, really valuable campaign, and wonderful to see what's happening in other parts of the world as well as within your own country. So just to give you a wee update, no, not happening for you, Joyce?
No, sorry. Have you managed to open it?
Bear with me and I'll try and share it. But let me open it. Just bear with me, folks, sorry. The internet's really, really slow. I live out in the sticks in Fermanagh, and sometimes it is just a nightmare trying to get documents opened and shared online, and you're in the mercy of the Wi-Fi. In the meantime, Joyce, you just close out of it and reopen it just to have it ready, just in case I can't. Okay. Let me try and share it again, actually, Joyce, because I need a second screen to read the next part.
Yeah, hold on, we check. I think I've got it now.
Sorry, folks.
Okay. There we go. Hallelujah.
Brilliant, thank you. So on to the next one there, just to give you a wee update. So as with this morning's meeting, we are very frank about our situation. Who anyone to listen, LGNI are on a bit of a cliff edge with funding, unfortunately. And we have little different streams of funding coming in for projects, quite high in facilitation, but it's something we do for survival. Can you move on to the next one, Joyce? Sorry. So yes, we're currently working on the REAP project, delivered funding from the Art Council from Northern Ireland, where we're delivering, I think we have 3 in total, where we're bringing school children in primary schools or secondary schools together with older people's community groups in 3 different areas in Northern Ireland, and they'll be completing art projects. So meeting up on a regular basis over 5, 6 different sessions with a facilitator boot. We've also been lucky enough to access money from the Shared Island Civic Fund, and we're currently pulling together intergenerational groups on both sides of the border here in Fermanagh and our neighbouring county in Fermanagh, or sorry, in County Cavan, where younger and older generations within communities, likely an older people's group, teamed up with a youth group. We're going to be coming together in each county and then coming together cross-borderly as well on a regular basis to share their ideas and the learning and the experiences that they're having. We've also been lucky enough to access funding from the Arts Council, again from Arts Council of Northern Ireland, for the Arts for Older People Fund. That will be launching hopefully in September, where we'll be bringing and helping facilitate projects within care homes. So similar to the one that Jane had spoke about in the county care home in Fermanagh, we're going to be replicating that again. And Joyce, our colleague there in Bangor, is also working currently on a Connect IT one, where we've been able to pull in little pots of money to facilitate digital programs where younger and older come together to learn IT skills and sort of share the learning in terms of younger people showing older people how to use their smartphones or access things on the internet like banking, shopping, things like that. And there's always really, really positive outcomes to projects like these, and we do love doing. But as I said, these can be quite facilitation heavy. There's a lot of work involved in it. And sometimes it means then our capacity is limited to what everything else that we can do. So we are saying to all our supporters, including our network members, that over the coming months we will be calling on people to shout about what we do and try and support us in bids to try and sort of get some proper core funding and get our local government to really recognise what we're doing. We do spend a lot of time liaising with MLAs and Stormont and calling on different party members to support us. You know, as you know yourself, working in the community and voluntary sector, that can be really, really hard to sort of survive in certain climates. But you know, we're always very open and honest about the fact that we do tend to be in a funding crisis every couple of years, and this year is no different to any other year. So you know, if you value the work that intergenerational practice brings and you value the support that an organisation like ours can give, then do speak about us where you can. You know, if there's ears listening and there's people in influence or power around you, please do advocate for us, because I think, you know, we are at a sort of crossroads now where Northern Ireland could lose the service of having an intergenerational organisation in place to help inspire others and support them and really start, you know, replicating what goes on maybe in one setting in lots of different settings and things like that. So it would be a shame, a real crying shame to lose it. So on to the next one, Joyce, if you don't mind. I told you I was going to give you a little bit of an update about our creating intergenerational communities. So this was a huge part of our work over the last 2.5 years, together with our partners in Scotland, Generations Working Together, and our partners in England, Apples and Honey Nightingale. We were lucky enough to secure funding from the National Lottery Community Fund until June of this year. So this essentially started in January 23, and the overall aim of the project was to establish 30 intergenerational flagship projects during its lifetime, and we have done that. So there's 10 in each country. There's 10 here in Northern Ireland, 10 have been set up in Scotland, and 10 in England. And as part of that, their involvement, we have trained all of their project leads up in intergenerational practice. We've supported them and sort of held their hand through this process of bringing generations together in their communities. So, for example, here in Northern Ireland, there's 20 different settings that have come together to make individual projects, and they range from nursery schools linked in with care homes. We've got a men's shed linked in with EOTIS, which is education other than a school, which is like an alternative to mainstream education, which is brilliant. We've got primary schools that have linked in with supported living centres, dementia units, care homes, and it's been an absolutely amazing journey. And we're delighted to be able to say that so many of these projects are going to continue long after we've taken our hand out of it, which is exactly what we wanted to achieve as part of it. The other focus, though, of the project is on quality, you know, to help improve practice sustainability and help build IG capacity across Northern Ireland and our UK partner countries. We've also developed a set of quality standards or indicators, which we got our projects to pilot as they're going through their journeys, where they meet up regularly for IG activities. This is something that we hope in the future will be released into the public domain. So when we think about all the different sectors that we work across, be it health, education, youth, care, you know, historically there's always been some kind of guidance. There's been some kind of standards or, you know, documents to help guide people through it and navigate to ensure that what they're doing is of quality and it's actually achieving the objectives and the outcomes that it said it would. But there's never been anything like that with intergenerational practice. So that is something that project has tried to address over the last 2.5 years. And we do have a really substantial document now put together, the toolkit, the Creating Intergenerational Communities Toolkit, which looks at individual elements of quality and really sort of helps practitioners guide their way through whether or not what they're doing is of quality, that it is having the impact that they want it to have, and all the different elements that you have to think about when you bring generations together. Along the way, because we've got over 1,000 participants across the United Kingdom as part of these different projects, we have reduced loneliness and social isolation. We've improved well-being and built relationships between generations in Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland, and we're delighted about that. That unfortunately is coming to an end at the end of June. So I suppose that's sort of adding to the fact that we are in a little bit of a funding crisis because we're not able to tap into that this year and possibly next year. But it's something that we hope doesn't get shelved because a lot of work has went into it, and you know, we still have plans to be able to actually formalise the toolkit or this document of quality indicators that we've been piloting over the last couple of years. Just go on to the next one there, Joyce. So just in a nutshell where we're up to, it means now that across Northern Ireland we've had trained up 62 different individuals across those 10 projects, which are made up of those 20 settings, and they're now all enrolled on the CIC pilot programme. On our website, on the project page within our website, there is a map that you can click on and you can see where each of those projects are. We have a total of 38 leads from those projects currently or have already trialled those quality indicators of practice. So the idea is that when we move forward with that document, it's going to be something that's been informed by practitioners. It's not based purely on academia and research papers and things like that. It's something that has been brought together with users on the ground. People have actually, you know, use them when they're delivering their IG activity. So they're very well informed from those that are actually doing the work. Each setting that have been involved in the project are now equipped with the knowledge of how to plan, deliver and evaluate intergenerational activities. And as I said a couple of minutes ago, we're delighted to say that all of our 10 projects across Northern Ireland won't end. You know, they're going to still have their regular meetups, all the partnerships and the friendships that have come out of this. They don't want to lose it, you know, so they will continue long after we do it. We're actually having our celebration event up in the Long Gallery in Stormont on the 13th of May at 3:30. We will be sending out invites to our network members and our age-friendly coordinators, MLAs, and of course, the most important people that made up the project, our project leads and participants. But there'll be more news about that over the coming months as well. Now, Joyce, if you pop on to the next one. So as I said, part of what we do on our network meetings is allow people on the ground to showcase what they're doing on the ground, what's happening within their communities in terms of the intergenerational activities that are going on. Now, Tori from Coast, she's the project manager for the Causeway Older Active Strategic Team, was hopefully, well, she had committed to coming on today, but unfortunately she's got very little sick children at home, and at the last minute she's had to pull out. But she has sent me through some information about a project that she has been involved with over the last number of months. So I'm just going to relay what the pictures on the screen are all about. So Tori was involved in Intergenerational Arts and Crafts Wellbeing Project, which was funded by Triangle Housing. It was a 5-week initiative designed to foster connections between local elderly people and primary school children through collaborative arts and crafts activities. The creative project was facilitated by Christina from Maracay Art NI, who is a qualified art psychotherapist. The project aimed to bridge generational gaps, promote mutual understanding, and improve the well-being of both age groups through shared creative experiences. So Tori tells me that they've just completed a 5-week block with a local day centre in a primary school. The success of the project was evident through their evaluation forms that they brought back in from participants. She said it was lovely to watch the relationships and the bonds build each week. And then through the creativity of it, it brought so much conversation around family life, hobbies, interests, and what it was like to live back in the day, the older person's day compared to now. So if you just move on to that next slide, Joyce, there should be other pictures there as well.
I think that's the last of them.
Is that?
Yeah.
Perfect. So it's just the two. Okay. So in the last session, the craft activity was to design and create a mug. Tori tells me that the activity provided a shared experience, and the craft that they were gifted to each other to take home was cherished by everybody that received. The participants, both older and younger, were delighted. It was a project that they will remember for a very long time, and the children continue to ask when they'll be back, as do the older people ask if they can come and visit the children again soon. So they have another 5-week block happening in Ballykelly, which is actually starting this Friday, with a local older people's group and a primary school. And Tori tells me that they're really excited to watch more of those relationships and bonds grow throughout the coming weeks. So it's really, really encouraging to see so many different organizations really start to think about how can we do this on a more regular basis, how can we embed this into our daily work. And in fact, a lot of our supporters and our friends and colleagues tell us, across the age-friendly sector, that once they start doing it, find how quite easy it is to do it. And one project leads to another, and all of a sudden what they're doing has become sustainable. So although she's not here, I give thanks to Tori for contributing what they're doing up in the North Coast in terms of their intergenerational work, and it's great to see that it's something that's going to happen a little bit more regularly now as time goes on. And then lastly, Joyce, if you just go on to the next one, we have Philip with us. Philip is from Alternative Energies Dance National Theatre live screenings, and currently agreed to come on and showcase something very different. I'm really excited about seeing this now, Philip, because I'm yet to have spoken to anybody who had put together an intergenerational dance group, as it were. But Joyce, if you want to stop sharing, I'm going to hand over to you, Philip, and you're going to give us a wee overview about what this project's all about. And I think you've got a wee video for us to watch too.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. This project's been going for a while. It's thank you for everything so far. It's been great information. This program was started just after COVID, really, and organised by Do Dance in Belfast. They're based at the Crescent Arts Centre in Belfast. And I was asked if I would coordinate this group in Ballycastle. So this is a group that comprises ages up to 85 to 16. So the younger ones come from Ballycastle High and Cross and Passion College. We meet once a week for an hour and a half. I teach them. I had a professional life as a dancer in other parts of the world before I moved to greener places. And I create works for them. They perform together. We performed most recently at a day of dance in Belfast at the Crescent Arts Centre with several different groups from Do Dance. We also, when possible, take them to events. We've taken them to the group to Belfast, to a concert in the Waterfront Hall. The group has also performed in local care homes, Leabike Home in Ballycastle. So it's a truly intergenerational group. I don't know whether I have time or can show you, but a filmmaker from Belfast, Fintan Dempsey, came up a few years ago and spent weeks with us filming and interviewing members of the class, young and old. It's a dance piece called Chance to Dance. I don't know if we can watch any of it. And then the other
If you're
thing,
able to share your screen, Philip, absolutely, whenever you've given
yeah,
us an
okay, I
overview.
can put it on. And the other thing I want to mention, we have just beginning, in fact, you know, people in this part of the world, if they want to go to the cinema, they go to Coleraine or wherever they have to go. And a lot of them I do know go to National Theatre, National Theatre Live productions. So we're actually having our first one here in Ballycastle in the Mayor's Parlour in Shesburn House on the 28th. That'll be The Importance of Being Earnest. So that's a new thing that's coming along. And also many of the productions from the National Theatre Live and the National Theatre in general have plays that students are studying for A-level. So we're hoping to mix the generations by coming to see productions that are pertinent to their current academic studies. So I could show you a short clip of this film. Now, it's on my desktop. I haven't done this before. So if I click the film,
yeah,
right,
and then you should have
and I
a
just play
button.
it.
No,
Yeah.
if you should have a button at the bottom on your screen, what you're seeing now, Philip, there should be a button saying share screen.
Yes, I saw that earlier. Let me get out of this for a second.
Yeah.
Just a moment.
It'll
Share,
take
it's a
minute,
share, right? Share, okay. And share, okay, right.
You need to click on optimize for video and sound.
Oh, good. You're Did I just lose you? I think I just lost you. Hello?
No, we're still here. We can see your screen, Philip. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to do this. There's the film.
Yeah, just it might. Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah. Is there sound to it?
Yes.
If you just pause it, okay, I'll talk you through. Yeah, if you just pause it and then click on stop sharing.
Mm-hmm. Stop share, yeah.
Right. So when you click on share again, to your right, there'll be two boxes that you can tick that say share sound and optimize for video sharing. If you tick those
Click both.
it means, yeah, it means we'll be able to hear and see what you're sharing.
Wow. And I will say just also this film was done about 2 years ago. The group, well, you see the youngins in there. They were giving a performance in Flowerfield Arts Centre in Belfast, in Port Stewart, sorry. And then at the end, they're not in it so much the very last section because the filmmaker left the film in his very hot car and lost the whole thing. So we had to refilm them at the end. But you'll see, you get a sense. So hit share now.
Yeah. If you click those two buttons, then we should be able to hear and see it.
Cancel. Yes. Are you hearing and seeing?
We can see it. I can't hear any sound though.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, where do I go back again to share?
Yeah, there should be two
there,
buttons.
share sound's not clicked. I had clicked it earlier. Try again, hit share.
Yep, third time lucky.
Third time lucky. It asks my password. What's that for? Zoom? For my computer, probably? Yeah? Are you seeing my password?
No.
No, you haven't shared yet. We're just still seeing you.
Maybe that's to let me see. Again.
Yeah. That's it. We can hear it now. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
Well, the group has been going for about a year and a half, and it took a while to get it going. As you know, it's an intergenerational group, and ideally we wanted equal numbers of 18-year-olds and over something-year-olds. So from early days, there are, I think, about 6 or 7 of the original group there, not the younger ones, and they have stayed with it right the way through.
I'm one of the older generations of Ballycastle, and I know that it's conscious that your coordination, your memory, and your physical capabilities does start to deteriorate once you get to a certain age. And this was a gentle way and a very enjoyable way of combining the coordination, my love of music, and the sociability of it all.
I wouldn't normally be somebody to think of down a dance class. You know, I suppose there's all different types of dancing. He's just great crack. Come on, I'm one of the youngest ones here. So come on ahead. So I came and I just felt free once I started, you know, just movement and following Philip and, you know, just free motion, and then starting to learn a few steps and that. And the crack was great, you know. It wasn't all just regimental learning and the dance steps, you know. It was, you know, just having a bit of joviality between people and, you know, meeting older people and that's a great side of things too. Meeting the more older people here, they have always a good story to tell, you know.
The fact that we do stop for a little cup of coffee gives you a little rest, because if I tell you I have 2 metal knees, and it's nice to sit down for about 15 minutes and have a little chit chat.
The community means a lot in that as one gets older, you lose your friends, especially the people here, and you become very lonely. Whereas this dance class has brought the community together, and people do tend then to help each other.
And the other thing about this class was mixing with younger generation. I mean, I could be their great-grandmother in some ways, and yet there we are walking around that room, doing our dance and our music, and yet we're all just friends together. And that means a lot. For someone of my age, it helps me keep young.
It's like when you go on a skiing holiday, you see young kids skiing past you, and you see people like myself struggling, and you see older folk, 80-year-old, and they've been skiing since they're young, and they're just taking it easy, you know, they're just letting life go by, you know. Yeah. But it's great to be part of something which is taking on all age groups, and seeing a lot of people getting out who wouldn't normally get out.
And we're very fortunate in that our tutor, Philip, has a wonderful way of reaching out to people. And he gives you the confidence to do something that you've never done before. And even if you don't get it quite right, it doesn't matter. It's fine. You'll be grand. And we share a bit of fun together in getting it right, and sometimes when we get it wrong, it's still good fun.
More recently, and we don't quite know what happened, maybe more advertising, but suddenly, maybe 6 weeks ago or more. I can't remember exactly how long it's been, but it just mushroomed, and suddenly there were 28 people. And I thought, we can't really take too many more because that's a lot. But it's been really exciting. Some people do know each other, have known each other for a while, others have not. And of course, as you know, the class is structured around, in the middle of the class we stop and we have a tea break. And that's important because people get the opportunity to have a cup of tea and a chat, and in fact, it's getting all back working again after we had the tea to get moving. So very definitely it's a means for people to socialize. And this community that we're talking about is a community, a dance community. These are people who have come out to dance together and to learn together and to perform together as a community.
Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you, Philip. Amazing. It looks really, really good. And it just goes to show intergenerational activity and practice and the whole approach fits everywhere and anywhere, you know. So I'll keep up the good work. You know, it looks brilliant for all involved and very easy to see where the benefits can be sought from an intergenerational approach as well as the whole dance activity. That's brilliant. So Joyce, back to you. If you could just share the last couple of slides. We're very nearly there, folks, and on time for a change, which is brilliant. But just to have a wee think about where we go from here. So if you're not already signed up to one of our networks, so our networks are divided into council areas. So there's 11 different areas that you can sign up to. Do that now. It's free to do it, and I've actually popped the link into the chat for you to access it from there. You'll be kept up to date about all the opportunities then that's coming up, be it our small grants that we deliver twice yearly, as we've said, any free training that we're able to do. Hopefully in the future we get a little bit of money from somewhere and we can roll that training out to anybody that thinks they'd benefit from it. If you need support in identifying your intergenerational match, do give us a call. You know, pick up the phone or drop us a wee email. That's one of the great things about our network. We have this pool of people across Northern Ireland. Quite often we'll have a school ring us up and say, you know, we'd be really interested in starting some kind of an intergenerational project, you know, of another setting close to us would be interested. And lo and behold, actually, there is a care home around the corner from you, just half a mile or a couple of miles from you, who really, really want to do intergenerational work, are very active in it. So often we can link people up that may not know who's in their community or in their vicinity. So it's always worthwhile being part of that. Talk to us about your All Ages April grants. Closes on the 28th of April. Share it with your networks and encourage people to apply for it. Get involved with Global IG Week 25, as Joyce showed earlier on. There's a huge different number of ways you can do that. Go onto our website and then go onto that will lead you to our partners' website, Generations Working Together, and you'll be able to download the free sort of signage and things that we've provided for that. Arrange a quick chat with any of us. We're here to help. We'll always reply to your emails, and sign up to training if it comes available, you know. We do have different, if you're scroll through our website, there are opportunities where you can put your name onto a list. If training was something that you wanted to actually avail of, we can, Vicky can put a bespoke package together for you. As I said, there is fees involved in it, but unfortunately, we're not in a position to be able to deliver it for free at the minute. And just very lastly, Joyce, if you could stop sharing, I'm going to share. For those of you who haven't done this before, can we kindly ask you to answer a couple of questions on Mentimeter? So if you just on your phone or on another window of your screen, go to menti.com. This is just a means of getting some feedback before everybody scurries off. I know you've got lots of other things to be attending to, but if you can go to menti.com and there will be somewhere on your screen to enter a code. So the code's there on your screen now. It's 78276334. And if you enter that in and just answer the few questions, brilliant. See, somebody's got on. So any problems connecting, just shout out, because I can't see anybody now sharing my screen. I'm going to actually stop recording as well while I'm here, because we don't need this bit. Thank you all for attending today.
Thank you.
I'll just get you to share the link. I can't even find that now. So yeah, once you've accessed that, I'll click through the little questions. If you could just pop in. Yeah. The code's still there. I think this is just a little word cloud. And type in a maximum of 2 or 3 words.
Where do we do that?
Yeah, so if you either on your phone, Philip, or on a different window on your laptop, if you go to menti.com and you'll be asked to insert a code. The code is on the screen. It's 78276334, and that'll give you access to this little questionnaire. Essentially,
Okay.
it's just the way we capture feedback from our
Sure. Are we doing that now?
Yeah, if you can, yeah. I tend to keep you all locked in this room.
If I can find it. Gosh.
Don't worry if you can't.
Where is it?
That's the last one.
Oh gosh, I'll have to do this. I can't see.
You're grand. I'll put the code into the thing.
Okay.
I think it's an interactive thing.
Okay.
It's an interactive thing. So once I stop sharing, you may not be able to access it. But